Hi Capricorn, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive, and thank you so much for being here. So I am here to do a read, and this will be for you and the other person. Now that other person, Capricorn, might be a person of interest, it might be a friend or family member, it might be someone that you're in a relationship at this time, or even in a committed relationship, whatever that case may be. So just note that, okay? Now this is a general read, so that goes without saying. I hope, my friends, that there is something that you can take with you. If not, then definitely leave it for another Capricorn or another Capricorn cross watcher, okay? All right, so just note that, all right? This will be for all sun, moon, rising, as well as your Venus signs, Capricorn. If you're not sure what those other signs are, check the description box. I've got a complimentary link there that you can click, plug in your data, and it'll pop out your birth chart. Then you can check out the signs and those videos that relate to those and see how they resonate with you. All right, so there you have it. If you're new to my channel, plug in 12 new for your time of birth. All right. Okay, so if you'd like a personal read, then go to theguidedintuitive.com and we will get you hooked up over there. Also keep in mind that the messages, you might resonate with one side more than the other, or you might just, resonate with a message from either side. So just take what resonates and use it as a guidepost to make your own decision, okay? So there you have it. Do check out our store and also our Facebook page at The Guided Intuitive, okay? If you click the button, you can be involved in our closed group. But it is a little button that says, visit group, and then that will get you on your way through that process. But what I want to see is what's going to be happening with you with April 1st through the 15th, 2019. What's in play for Capricorn here? Here's your first card. Let's do this, okay? Ooh, okay, we've got the Pearl Threaded, okay? So this is a 38 card, which reduces to an 11, okay? And the 11s are talking about those intuitive qualities, very a highly spiritual number, right? And I always like to say is that it balances the intuitive qualities of the High Priestess, with that leadership, and also the creative qualities of the magician. Okay, so those whose lives are, let's say that your life path is number 11, which is a master number. They're both very they're very spiritually sensitive, very charismatic, very independent type of people, and very cooperative as well. Okay, so there you see this here. So sorry for the glare, guys, but you see that there. So there's like two pearls, and there's a thread linking them together between you and another person. Okay, and this is about the best in as it relates to this person and the best that relates to this person, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful connection. So this could be someone in your life currently at this moment, right now. And all I'm saying is here is what I'm seeing is that it's like we face our inner challenges in solitude. Like our spiritual transformation is not like an independent event, right? It's not just for our victory alone. As we approach that enlightened way of living, right? And we choose that all embracing love. Okay, so this is just basically saying is that each human being is a pearl. Okay, and each human being is a pearl on the Divine Mother's garland, and we gradually assume. We're gradually taking on that beautiful luster. We're gradually taking on that beauty, that worth and radiance over many, many lifetimes. So it's together, and it could be you and another person, you and the divine. Actually, it's all three, right? Are really are creating this precious offering in return for her gift of life. So it's just basically saying that life with you and the divine is really a gift of life. And we can learn to draw on the collective effort to allow our own journey to be integrated into the journey of a group without being weighed down or but instead be truly lifted up. And it could be that you are connecting with another person, and the beauty within and the beauty within each other are really coming into being intertwined. And that could very much well be the case as well. Okay, so it just brings a message is just to shift your perspective and to allow all groups that you're involved in, to really become like this, like a source of energetic lifting rather than a place of depletion. Okay, so you want your partnerships to lift you up. You want the groups that you're involved in to lift you up, not deplete you. Okay, and make sure that they're in vibrational resonance with you. And if they're not, or if the relationship is not, then that is just a reminder to saying, well, maybe it's time for you to possibly seek a group that is more energetically supportive of your vibration. So just trust your feelings and don't be scared to really open up and allow yourself to connect. It could be connecting with another, in a relationship, and really being able to express that. And and to trust that you're not alone on your journey. There are soul connections that they're going to nourish you. And this card is saying it wants it to draw them to you like the strands of a pearl on the Divine Mother's necklace. So it's beautiful, really gorgeous. Okay, let's see what else wants to come into play for you here. The spaces between the words. Wow. Now, the colors that I see here are really focused on the sacral chakra, which is that golden, right? It's kind of like that gold color here. But it's also, you've got the greens there, which is your heart chakra too, right? And the yellow is talking about the solar plexus, and that's about your esteem, your willpower, and that type of thing. And the sacral chakra is about your sexual energies. And so that's what's kind of coming into play here. But the spaces between the words. So the 24 reduces to a 6, and that is about growth. So you might be seeing something within the spaces between the words. And perhaps it might be not so much but what someone is saying, but it's how they're saying it that is giving you some sort of idea as to where someone or a situation might be happening. Okay, and sometimes we always look for the direct words that are going to clarify and really reassure us and help us find our path. Maybe when we're in some chaos or we're in a situation we don't understand, or in a relationship that something's not quite clear. But this is saying there's also guidance in the spaces between the words, between each letter, and between all the happenings in our life, where there's nothing to be said, where there's no lines to be colored in, and where there's just openness, right? There's just openness. And there's times when we need to freestyle, right? We need to do or not do based upon what's happening, at the present moment, in a situation or a relationship. So a lot of the times there's far less that we need to do than we actually think, okay? And that's what's coming into play. And we'll sense this subconsciously, and we'll feel exhilarated and excited, anxious or nervous, and we might not know why that is. So there is a sense that perhaps we wouldn't mind having a map of this unknown terrain in this relationship or whatever's happening with you right now. Okay. And sometimes it's we're happy to wing it and make it up as we go, but either way, there is space to just be. And it's the receiver for the divine presence. So if you have a lot of space of unknown around you, whether it's now within you or within a relationship or whatever, just know there's a lot of divine presence to be received. It can't be explained really. It just happens between the words or without it, outwards. Sometimes you know something more by when someone's not talking about it, when they don't say anything. And sometimes there won't be any words, and when they don't say anything, that's all the guidance. That's guidance right there as well. So that this is really just speaking to you to enter into the space and let go, because right now this is about your time to really receive and be blessed as well. Okay, but also to take heed of those things that are happening if that is a dynamic that's happening in a relationship. Okay. What else wants to come through? God speaks. Okay, that's the name of this card, which is really the colors of the heart chakra and the crown chakra. Okay, and that is talking about the higher consciousness, divine connection, and then also the heart chakra, which is about relationships, self-love, and that and the love that governs our relationships as well. Okay, so it's almost as if that there's a combination, is that you're using the divine and using that in your heart space to come and bring you to the light and define what it is that's happening in this relationship. This could very much could be source speaks, whatever that is to you. But what's really coming through is a growth card. The 33 reduces to a 6. And again, you had a 6 here, which is also about growth, spiritual growth. So if you're going to put these cards together just based on numerology, you got the spiritual, which is the master number, insightful, and then both these cards are growth. So there is growth that's coming in, as we speak, and that's quite a beautiful thing. So this is just saying is that you're going to get some sort of enlightenment in terms of this situation, whatever is at hand, whether within or within a particular relationship. It's just you are being loved, into the becoming as you are moving forward and you're going through this growth. You're being nudged, and you're being nudged by the divine. That's what this is saying. So if you're feeling it, note your comments below. If you feel that you're being held back, know that you're being held back by the divine for a reason, okay? Because all is happening in perfect timing. And just know that it's going to unfold for you, in the right timing, because the divine is speaking to you. And when you are captivated by the beauty of nature, and then kind of in some illogical sense that everything is going to be okay. Just listen. The divine is talking to you and letting you know that everything is unfolding, and it's almost as if it's unfolding according to spiritual law. Okay, so it might seem like you're a little dizzy. You're kind of going around. You're going up and you're curving around. Well, the divine has a hand in this. So also let the divine come in and do its thing. Within this process, that's going to be very, very key. And anything else for you right now that wants to shine through? Wow. Okay, so we've got the void. Wow. Now this is a 4 card, which talks about the stability, right? Again, we've got those same colors that were in this last card, is the crown chakra that's coming through here, and the heart chakra. The same colors that are coming through, the crown chakra and the heart chakra that are coming through. And it's almost as if you see how this is reaching to kind of come into like the light right there. This is as if it's kind of moving up and into that direction as well. Because what I see here is all about that you're moving and moving closer into the light, and you're being led to the light by the divine. But it's also a strong presence in here saying, hey, that it's almost as if you're kind of moving on to that next cycle of manifestation, because it kind of brings you here. It kind of moves you into the circle, like into the void. It's like it's accept entry into this void as a preparation for your next cycle of manifestation, and if you can accept the darkness that is holding you with love and not with unfeelingness, then you can just relax and know that let the preparation be what it must be, because you're well equipped to move on to the next steps forward. Capricorn, this process. Especially this lifetime. It might be meeting a beloved, whether the divine or whether it's a human lover, that is fresh and new at this moment, and that it's excited and it's open and it's curious. This just brings you guidance that there are parts of your own process that are unfolding that you just don't or cannot know about yet. And it will not always be that way, but for now, it's most helpful for you to just deal with what's immediately before you, okay? And all will be shown when the time is right. The growing, to be done, it has to just really, it's like you'll be nudged into the next step on your path, and you'll be met with that, okay? So don't worry, you don't have to search, just be present and patient. And when you can do something, do it, and when you cannot, okay, well then hands off, just be, right? That's what this thing, because your time is going to come soon. And if you are holding a question about a relationship, well, this is just saying, hey, right now, surrender to it. Surrender to the void that you can't see and let it become what it must, okay, according to spiritual wisdom and also according to love. So it's almost as if you're kind of being guided, right? You're being guided and you're moving from, the void all the way into here. But then now you come into this, spot here and then it kind of takes you to that next step. It's almost like after this, you go to the top, and then you're kind of still going through it, and you've got that next step of manifestation going through. And you're going to have to go through a void where you're not going to be sure what's going to happen and where it's going to take you. And when that happens, you just got to let things just be, okay? So it could be a relationship. What about this other person on this other side here? Sweet soul rising. Gorgeous. Okay, this is a 20 card that reduces to a 2, and that's about duality, right? So what's coming through here is that this person's going through the same thing. They're being lost, and they're kind of being lost in their own thoughts and feelings, okay? And it's like this sweetness of surrender into another world. They're doing the same thing. I think, they're going out of this circle into this void as well, right? And they're coming out, and they're manifesting what they want. But the thing is here is that sometimes that, thoughts and feelings can kind of get in the way and help you, make you feel a little lost. And this is like this, so it's about surrender and not to be clear, at this time or this precise moment. Even if you have a clear plan, this is saying let it be flexible, let it be malleable, malleable, so you can actually allow the heart to open in the process and let it be whatever it may be, okay? And make your way through that, okay? And sometimes the sweetness of the soul rises, and instead we can just flow with the currents of the cosmic ocean, okay? And just run with it. We're unsure where we're headed, but we know that it's safe in some way, shape, or form, okay? And that's what it's basically saying, okay? You can use your own efforts, to swim, let's say, and you're in the cosmic ocean to your destiny, or against the current at times, or in this situation, like she's surrendering to the universe and surrendering, well, you can also float on the sweet love of your own soul and just enjoy the privilege of just getting to know itself, becoming one with the divine, and let the divine co-create with you. Okay, surrender and flow is what this is saying. Don't assert your will and try to make things happen, no matter how much you want them to be one way or another, or maybe they should be one way or another. That's saying surrender. You're both are being asked to surrender, guys. Okay, that's what's happening here. There's something bigger happening here. And everything's going to turn out perfectly according to a far larger plan. Don't try to push it to be what it's supposed to be. Let it unfold and surrender to what it's supposed to be, guys, okay? Note your comments below, but that's what's really coming out here, okay? Because sometimes we have to let go of our expectations so that bigger plan can be achieved, and we just need to let it happen and just trust that it's going to take place without us even striving to make it so, okay? And guess what, Capricorn? This is one of those times. Okay? All right? I love and embrace you. I'm laughing with you because been there and we'll be there again. Okay? We all will. Okay? So that's what's coming up. What else for this person can help you through the process? Heart of God. Okay, beautiful. This is a 9 card, which is about coming to fruition, right? And this is beautiful because the chakras here that we're seeing here is that root chakra. It's like that root chakra that's grounding you, whatever is taking place, and you pop out here, and then this is that green, which is the heart chakra. So it's about being grounded and then opening up. And so the heart of it is either opening up the heart. Open up the heart by feeling so safe in terms of where that this person is at, whichever side that you resonate. But this is saying is that, all men and women, we all have hearts that are capable of bliss. And bliss is what we feel when we let spirit, or God or source, whatever that is for you, it lets our heart open and speak the sensation of it. Okay? So it can't be described, okay? There's a mystery in this, okay? So you don't have to do anything with it, you just see. So to be the inspiration is to have the heart open to the divine, and its life is calling right now, okay? It's like this person's going through a divine awakening that is going to ground them better than anything ever than before, okay? And, it's just you're being led by your heart. Spirit is in it, and it's speaking through it, and it's calling forth to love, and the love that is flowing in the heart is going to filter out into your toes and just really drip from drip from your hands and from your body, and as the stars fall from heaven. So it's just basically saying is you've got this sacred purpose to fulfill on earth on this side. Okay, the situation or issue that is awakening, that is awakening this person, whichever side you resonate with, is and what they seek. It's being held in the hands of the divine creator, and the creator says to you, hey, leave it with me. I got this. Okay, it's all unfolding in perfection, and the divine is alive in your heart, and just know the divine is your heart, right? It is your heart. So anything else for this other side over here? Simplicity. Okay, this is about bowing down to the simplicity of the situation, and sometimes surrender does take a part of bowing down, right? And it allows the creator to do its work, where then you will be the one applauding. Okay, so that's what is coming into play. Taking a higher perspective like the bird up here. Higher perspective, make things simple, bow down, let the universe bring what it wants to you. That's how I see this card. Beautiful artwork. Isn't this cool? All right, and then final things for this other person, so the ancient ones. Okay, just the guidance that they're receiving on them is being bestowed upon them by a higher source. So again, the divine is helping them out. The 52 card reduces to a 7, which talks about faith. So they're just have faith that the divine is watching over you, is shining its light on you, is working through and in you to help you become as transparent and becoming that true you, even in the midst of having to surrender. That's going to be very, very important, but it's going to open your heart and open your heart with the green and make you a lot more grounded with that red. Okay, so just bow down to the divine is what this is saying. So what is it that you I'm going to pull one more just for you on this side, Capricorn. Seat of the heart. Wow. Yeah, this is just saying same thing is your heart is opening up here, and you're becoming a lot more clear in your communication of yourself. And this is a 25 card, a 7 card. You're really, really, really mirroring each other here. And this is talking about having faith. Okay, so it is just, strictly what comes to me is that waiting it to blossom into fullness. Your heart is going to blossom into fullness in divine timing. Plant needs just the right conditions to grow healthy, right? And you've seen that blade of grass that just pushes up through the crack in the pavement. And then that, well, guess what? Something was meant to get to light, right? Something was meant to grow in the light, and it will do so even against the most apparent unsurmountable odds of concrete. Okay, so that's what this is saying. So this is just bringing you guidance right now, Cap, that the conditions are right, and that the right conditions are being brought to you. The most perfect support for your own divine blossoming is coming your way. Just trust and know that seed in your heart, just like this, that seed in your heart knows how to grow, and life supports it. Okay, it's also a sign that something in your relationship is sprouting. It could be a new energy. So don't be afraid to try new ways of relating, as your life energy is really supporting it right now. So beautiful. So what is it that you want to say to this person? Okay, and what does this other person want to say to you? What is that? Here it is. What you want to say to this person is, I realize that I'm overreacting. Can you give me a minute to get sane again? Time out. Okay, sometimes we need a little bit of a time out, right? Especially with all these different changes that are happening into play right now with you. On either side, a lot of surrendering and things like that. But this is beautiful. Okay, so that's just basically saying, sometimes, one party does something that drives the other one crazy, and it's just how it is, right? So the question is how to survive these moments without really doing any sort of irreparable harm to your relationship. And one of the best ways to do this is, guess what? Pause. Take a moment and get sane. Okay? So hopefully that may help some of you. So note your comments below. And for this other side over here, what wants to come out? I know I'm being defensive. Can you say this in a less charged way so I can feel safe with you? So in some way, shape, or form, this person, might feel that the way it's coming about is triggering them. And though they might know that this is work that they need to do on their own, but it is something that scares them still at this time that they're working through. So they want to make it clear to you. And it could be an upbringing. We all get are raised a little differently with different, with our parents having a different set of rules and a way of running our life. And sometimes when we become adult children, from children we become adults and we look at our life, then we might have a change of perspective, and it could very much well be the case. Okay, so there you have it. And anything else that you would like to say to them? You have no idea how much I regret the direction I took this in. I am sorry. Wow, that's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful. And this is all about stopping and turning things around, okay? And that's what this is saying. Stopping and turning things around, okay? If there's a problem, maybe your significant other comes to you about and said, I'm having a problem with my boss, the best thing is to say it's not back. You always have a problem with your boss. Maybe it's you. Again, not taking it in that direction, but saying, okay, I understand, and just really just listening to your partner. And sometimes it's just a matter of just being heard and just having them express something to you, and that is it. So there you have it. It could be for some of you. And what is it that they would like to say to you? Anything else? I know I've been relentless. I can understand why you would want to get away from me. Okay. All right. So if you wanted to play hide and seek with your partner for a bit, understood. That's what's happening. Sometimes we need those little bit of breaks and to get, to where you're not defensive. And so this is about really finding your way. Somewhere in between awkwardness and gratitude, you can both kind of find your way when this is said. So very beautiful. And anything that can help you out from the soul trees in this process, Cap. What does Capricorn need to know that's going to help them in this process? Limiting beliefs. Wow. Okay. So ridding of any limiting beliefs is going to be key. Wow. So this is just basically saying here is that, uncover and release any false or limiting beliefs at this time. Okay. And that maybe you've been holding you back. So create a lot more new empowering thoughts to support and comfort you. And that's what's coming into play. And that has to do with your communication style, because this is the throat chakra, okay? Communication, right? So very key. And anything else that the soul trees would like to say to you, Capricorn? New approach. Try to find a new approach. And this comes from the divine. And this is like that violet color. This is the root chakra color. So that, the sacral chakra. So being, just really kind of understanding, being a little bit more... kind of essential in your approach, very, kind of in that way, but at the same time using the divine here. And this is just saying, try, maybe there's a new approach that needs to be taken in this process, right? In some way, shape, or form. That's what it's asking you to do. There's some sort of new approach that's necessary, okay? Make a change, maybe try something new until you can get a different result in terms of communicating. And hopefully these cards might help you guys. Hopefully that might put some words to some of the feelings you're going through. And then the last card that we get is Imagine. Ooh, this is beautiful. Imagine, try this new approach, right? And imagine what that would look like, okay, if you were to do that. So it could come through fruition and manifest for you, okay? So that's what it's saying. Your new approach has to do with you manifesting how you would like to turn out to be. So visualize it. What would it look like? What would it feel like? What would be happening around you? What would it smell like? Is it in color? Is it in black and white? Really get a vivid picture, okay, like a movie. And then once you've got that, what you need to do is to ground that in and to anchor that in. And then, I don't know, touch your thumb and lock that picture into your thumb. And so the next time that you actually touch your thumb, that that picture pops up in your head, and this is how you want things to be done. So there's lots of fun ways to do that, but this is about imagine. So really, truly imagine how you would like things to come, and visualize your desires and use that imagination that you have, Capricorn. Okay. So I hope that this resonates in some way, shape, or form. I look forward to seeing you in the second half of April. And until then, namaste.